it's Mary Catherine from Crochet Chic. Today I'm going to show you the stitches I used to make this really fun infinity scarf. This scarf I used using the filigree, and what I did was I arm knitted on it. It's a really simple thing once you learn it, and when you use bulky yarns or multiple strands of yarns, like 4 strands of 4-ply or 2 strands of any kind of bulky, you get this tight knitted thing and super quick. Like you can make a scarf in 30 minutes or so. Probably even less once you get used to it. Today I'm going to show you how to do it using just 2 strands to keep it nice and simple. What I did recently with this is I arm knitted really loosely. If you look in the link below, it will take you right to the post. I made a fishnet because my son wanted an aquarium under the sea kind of party, and I used that as a table runner. And I covered almost 4 tables in less than a half an hour. Super fast, super easy. The possibilities are completely endless. So I'm going to just go ahead and show you how to do it. I'm going to cast on using the long tail method. If you are a knitter, you don't have to be to do this project. You don't even have to be a crocheter. It's super easy. You can cast on any way that you do know how if you do. We're going to we start with the slip knot. And we have 2 different parts of the yarn. We've got our tail end, which is what I'm talking about, and then we've got the yarn that's connected to the ball. We're going to start with the tail end. You want to wrap it around your thumb. The part that's underneath, under this wrap, is what you're going to want to put right here in between your pinky and this finger. The yarn that's connected to the ball you want to put right here. I'm going to start over and show you again. This is my tail arm. And what I'm going to do is I've got it right here to keep it nice and sturdy. And then I just loop it like this, the yarn that's connected to the ball. I'm going to go under here, grab this, and put it on my wrist. I don't want it so loose so tight that it can't come off, but you also don't want it super loose unless that's the exact thing that you're going for. Each one of these counts as a stitch. Now remember, when you're using multiple strands of yarn, that this 2 counts as 1. It doesn't really count as 6 right now, but it counts as 1, 2, and 3. And then you just keep on going depending on how wide you want. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to show you guys how to do this. This is basically what it's going to look like right down here. This is my tail. I'm going to forget about it from now on. Just don't touch it. Every time you go to switch back to the other yarn, you want to hold this yarn with that hand. So because all my loops are on this one, I'm going to hold the yarn with this hand until I'm completely done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first loop, pull it off, and then put my hand into the new loop that's created. Take the first loop, pull it off, I grab this yarn again, I take the first loop, pull it off, grab this yarn, take the first loop, pull it off, grab this yarn, take the first loop, pull it off, grab the yarn. It looks kind of sloppy and messy to start with. That's okay. After you practice it a couple times, your tension will get more consistent. And so if you're using a finer yarn or just 2 strands like I'm showing you in this video, you'll be able to tell really neat stitches. Now, we've got our yarn on this arm. I'm going to show you how to get it onto this yarn. So because all my loops are on this arm, I'm holding my working yarn, the yarn that's connected to the ball, with this yarn. So what I want to do is basically the exact same thing, only opposite. I'm just taking the loop off, grabbing it, putting it in, taking the loop off, putting my arm in this new loop, grabbing the yarn again, taking the loop off, putting the yarn again, taking the loop off, putting the yarn again. As you can see, it's very loopy. That's why it worked very well for me to make a fishnet. But when you add more yarn to it, it becomes a tighter stitch and it's not so loose. But even in its loose form, it does look really cute for a cowl or an infinity scarf, even in the 4-ply. If you add a couple colors in here, it's really cute. Alright. Instead of making you guys watch me make a really long one, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to show you how to cast off. What you want to do is you have all the loops in one hand. You never stop when it's halfway through, unless you're trying to do a knitting pattern that's a little more complex and has shaping. If you're just doing your basic scarf, your blanket, your cowl, your infinity, even a fishnet, whatever you want to do, you don't stop midway. You want all your loops on one hand. Doesn't matter which hand it is. What you're going to do is you're going to grab it, you're going to go like this, and pull this one like that. So I'm going to take this loop, grab it under, and grab the original loop that I just grabbed it under. take this loop, grab it under, pull, take this loop, grab it under, and pull, take this loop, grab it under, and pull, and then you're going to want to weave it in, and that's how you pretty much do a little lacy type netting. And I wanted to kind of show you guys what I did with the Red Heart filigree. Any bulky yarn, if you pull it really far, you can see my little lines and how thick it is, but when you go like this, it just looks kind of like a pretty knitted thing that you would find in an upscale shop.